Hey guys, it's Nate, aka the Foot Accountant. Welcome back to the channel. It is a special day today in real life and of course on FC 26. To start, I have to say I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas wherever you are and maybe watching today. I hope you experience some happiness and some joy on this holiday. Of course, we all hope to experience some of that through the content today in FC 26, as it's more like a promo Friday almost than a Thursday. There is a lot coming today. A new season with 2 Playstyle Plus cards and potential evolution cards that we can create. The Winter Hat Santa SBC today. Evolutions we could be seeing today, and maybe even some other little presents from EA Sports and a new team of cards and packs. We're going to discuss it all today, guys, and talk about a market that is kind of getting cooked in a lot of different areas, and we'll talk about why. If you're excited for it today, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's start things off by looking back over yesterday's Christmas Eve content on FC 26, starting with the last Winter Wildcards tournament objective. Of course, if you've been tracking along and getting this tournament done every single day or every other day, this is a very important objective because you're maybe completing the completionist objective like I hope to do here in the next day. But I will say this, the tournament does not look like it's going away because the bonus win and the score objectives are still hanging around for the next week of this promo. And actually, if you look at the tournaments tab, there is a Winter Wildcards tournament finale that winning this base level tournament qualifies you for the finale tournament. So I think EA is going to give us more time to play this, basically all of the next week, to unlock the finale, which actually doesn't start for a few more days into this weekend. But I wanted to make that known because that mode has kind of fallen backwards in importance for me. I've been focused on the gauntlet and focused in other areas to get rewards that are a little bit better. But depending on how the rewards look for that tournament finale later on this weekend, that still could be a very good mode to be playing. So I wanted to point that out to you guys there with that last objective dropping yesterday. Now in Evolutions, we had another great Evo for Chains. The Icy Precision Evolution, repeatable twice, which is nice, but the upgrade is the best part. Finesse and low-driven base playstyles, up to 7 playstyles with plus 10 shot power, plus 12 finishing, and plus 10 curve, with very good and high stat limits there of 90, 90, and 88. This is an amazing Evo for Chains. It does give a +1 overall on the card, by the way. I was looking at Socrates. I'm starting to make an Evo chain for him, I do believe, to take him to above a 74 rated card and use him at some point in a main team sort of situation. But going up to 85 shooting and giving him finesse there for a center attack in mid with the playstyles that he already has looks very, very good. So I'm kind of excited to start an Evo chain there and maybe use one of my 2 options for this Evo on that Socrates. But there's going to be more silver icons drop today. Maybe that Rude Hullet. Like if you're trying to create a cam Rude Hullet more attacking boosted card from the season pass, he could and should fit this evolution after his silver icon card comes out today. That's one thing I'm very curious about in relation to this Evo and other chain Evos that are out right now. But also take a look at this Rafael Leao card, man. You can take Rafael's gold card up through, what is that, 5 evolutions, and it only goes to an 86 rated card. But look at the stats. He is comparable statistically to his card and even has way better shooting than his 87 rated Winter Wildcards 400,000 coin special card on the market. 93 pace and 89 shooting versus 95 pace and 81 shooting. I'm taking the shooting there 100%. Even look at the footbin rating, 92.9 versus 92.2. This card is whatever the price of the gold is, which is maybe extinct now, but, you know, 84 rated card. He will be back in packs after tomorrow, which will be very possible to do this Evo chain then. And then, you know, you've got yourself free Evos after that. It's insane, right? Salva Parluelo, same thing with how crazy these Evos are for chains right now. You can create some absolutely insane cards. So start off with a low to mid 80 rated player with a couple of these +1 Evos. That is why we're loving evolutions right now in this game. The cards through chains are crazy. Now let's keep it moving because we have a lot to discuss today. SBCs brought us the biggest W of yesterday's content, even a bigger dub than those evolutions, in my opinion. But first, we do need to discuss the other SBCs besides Courtois. The 87 plus campaign mix upgrade dropped yesterday. It's repeatable every single day. It's an 84 in an inform and an 85 rated squad. This is still kind of useful. Some people are chasing players first owner from Scream, Primetime, Festival of Football, or maybe FC Pro Live for like a past and present squad, or maybe for evolutions in the future. So if you're chasing a certain player from any of those promo teams, this is a viable SBC to be doing, and it is pretty cheap. We also, as a part of our daily double of player SBCs in this Advent countdown to Christmas, got the Robin Lenormand SBC yesterday. And personally, this one's a skip for me. It's 51,000 coins. He's missing the intercept playstyle. Unless you're an Atletico Madrid or maybe La Liga collector of some sort in this game, this is maybe just not the best card. The only unique thing about it is he does have Aerial Fortress Plus, which is, I can't think of too many cards that I've seen with Aerial Fortress Plus this year. Very usual playstyle, like in previous years that would be a playstyle plus, like I think VVD had it, but not many cards have it this year, or I feel like I see less cards that have it. So if that's interesting to you, you could of course complete that. But the real SBC from yesterday is Courtois, a very cheap goalkeeper SBC and a goalkeeper card that got a crazy boost. 81 speed on a 6'7" Thiago Courtois. That is plus 35 speed from his base gold card. That is going to be incredibly noticeable in game. And the fact that he got all goalkeeper playstyles added to his card. I think they added footwork. I think they added deflector and far reach, because he did not have those before. He's got the cross claimer plus, which will be very nice on corners for sure. But having all of these playstyles as at least the base version is going to make this card really, really good in game. I'd love to hear your guys' experience. If you've used them already, tell me how he is. I will 100% be completing this SBC for, again, a very cheap price of 67,000 coins. He's 6'7" and 67K. EA's playing too much into it right there with the 6'7". However, we were expecting this SBC to be good. This is better than I was expecting, man. And the goalkeeper prices show it. Take a look at the crazy crashes on goalkeepers on the market yesterday. From 70,000 coins on this Oblak to 23K. Even icon goalkeepers, some of the best goalkeepers in this game, like Oliver Kahn. I've been using this guy since day one. He might get ousted from the team for this Courtois card. He went from 300K plus to under 200,000 coins. And while I do think these price drops are not going to recover anytime soon, I have actually bought a couple of cards. I say recover. I don't think Oliver Kahn's going to go back to 300,000 coins. I don't think Casillas is going to go back up to 475,000 coins where he was. But I will say this, goalkeeper SBCs happen a lot less often than center back and center mid and attacker SBCs do. I do believe that some of these icon cards that are rare, that are especially not in packs like Oliver Kahn, especially if they have far reach plus, because that is probably the most sought after goalkeeper playstyle plus right now, I do think some of their prices can go up. Have we hit the low point? Maybe not. There still could be today on Thursday some more panic selling, because these cards really have only dropped since the content dropped yesterday with this Courtois. So I'd be very careful buying these, but the way that I look at it is I can buy a couple of these cards and probably not think about their prices for the next week or 2 weeks, and hopefully sell them for a bit of profit then after the dust settles. And some of these icon goalkeepers, like dude, Casillas is one of the most used goalkeepers in this game, because footwork plus, of course, with low driven being very overpowered from the beginning of the year. I mean, come on, man. Even just 2 days ago, he was 460K, and you can tell me that I can get him for 200K less than that? Surely he's going to rebound at least a little bit. So that's a small investment that I made there. If you want to try to do something with that, watch the icon goalkeepers, the rare ones, the Van der Sar, the out-of-packs ones as well, if there's any icon promo cards apart from the Oliver Kahn. It's a bit of a risky move, but it's a move that I think could make you some coins, especially if you just want to buy one and put it in your team for a bit. Now, talking about SBCs, we got to talk about fodder. Part of the fodder market is up, and that's Team of the Weeks. If you invested in Team of the Weeks this week for 12K, G freaking G's, because you're making 3,000 coins a card, and it's good times to sell, in my opinion, at 15K for these inform cards. I think I would get them out today just to be safe before what's going to happen with a lot of packs being open today, and of course tomorrow on Friday as well, with the Weekend League rewards supplying the new Team of the Weeks in the Team League packs. Speaking of the new Team of the Week, we were not very excited for the new one that was dropping because it doesn't look that crazy, But it is here. Stanisic is an 86 rated with the Jockey Plus, and it is not that crazy of a team of the week for sure. Maybe a couple of good Evo cards in there, a few of you may be interested in, but mostly it is just going to be fodder team of the weeks that we will be investing in, hopefully at 12K or less later on this weekend as well. But prices are not up on other parts of fodder, specifically golds. And the number one reason why 88s, everything basically, 85s all the way up to 89s got absolutely cooked yesterday. Take a look at these graphs. After content, even with the icon packs refreshing yesterday, these cards got demolished. There's one reason why. Lightning rounds. If you take a look, EA has started running their lightning rounds once again like they did last weekend, and they're rocking big lightning rounds here. The Cornucopia Reloaded is the big pack that crashed all the winter wildcards last Friday, and this little helper pack as well is tradable with an 84 times 11 pack with 2 guaranteed to be higher rated than that for 200 and 375K. Not worth spending your coins on to try to make profit on. Don't even think about doing that. But this is bringing so much tradable supply to the game, and it's cooking fodder prices. So we're safe because, of course, I was telling you guys to sell the fodder even yesterday right after the content drop or before that. Tuesday, Wednesday was the sell time on that, and I think that was a good idea because, of course, 88s were above 10K yesterday. If those are gone, good, W, and now they're down here and looking potentially investable again. But honestly, I don't know if they're going to go up enough today with more lightning rounds coming out to be worth an investment for Friday. I think what we want to do is wait to buy fodder again on Friday night, on Saturday, and then hopefully see it rise once again into the next week with all the winter wildcards SBCs that we have out. Basically what happened last week, we'll try to do the exact same thing again this week on this game. Now, in the store, there was a nice pack that was dropped yesterday. Of course, we're watching the Advent. I think it was Advent 3 or 4 that was released yesterday. I think it was around a 5,000 coin pack. I still got my 30 coin pack here to open, but I'm really curious today to see what EA do in terms of content in the store, because there's those packs that were in the code that we looked at in the video yesterday that we still have not seen yet. The stockings, I think, is what they were called. So watch the store today as we get into the content on Christmas. But let's talk about what is dropping today on Christmas. It's kind of a rare occurrence of content all happening at once. We got a new team in packs coming today. We have a new season that is starting today. It feels like a promo Friday, guys, but it's actually just a Thursday. That's what I want to point out first. The new season pass drops today with the first 2 Playstyle Plus cards in the season pass of the year, and allegedly the first 2 Playstyle Plus evolutions. We got a Rudy Voller Team of the Year honorable mentions hero card here with Low Driven and Chip Shot. We've looked at this leak before, but just to re-energize the memory there, we got DeRossi with Pinged and the Relentless Plus as well on his card. I would have to imagine that these would be toward the end of the season pass. We've also got a lot of other players like Kai Havertz involved. These are his official stats. He might even be a little bit later on in the season pass as well, just with 1 Playstyle Plus. Maybe he's like level 20 or 25. That would be my guess. Could be later than that. Hopefully a little earlier, to be honest. But that'd be my guess there. Of course, this is going to be dropping soon after content, so you'll be able to see this. Most of you guys, you're watching the video. But just to overview as well, a lot of silver icons are dropping today. Hullet, Mateus, Maldini, Voller, Collier, Lineker, Baggio, Koeman, Barnes, and Haji. There's some nice icons in there, specifically the Hullet, though. Today will be the day of Hullet chains starting to be created. So that is very exciting there. And of course, as a part of the season pass, we're so curious to see the 2 Playstyle Plus evolutions. There's 2 of them that are leaked. A Max 87 that gives Tech Plus, and a Max 88 that gives Finesse Plus as the second PS Plus. Now, guys, I do want to mention one thing. These Evos are definitely going to be later on in the season pass, so don't get caught into the hype today like buying cards. Like buying Gold Pina or buying the Cornerstones Pina today does not make sense for an evolution that will not be possible for weeks from now. Like, if these Evos are going to be in the season pass, they have to be towards the later levels, and nobody's getting to level 35 today. So if you see any cards either going up or even crashing because of the new Playstyle Plus Evos and the hype around that, just try not to get involved in that too much, because there shouldn't be too much movement again, as those cards won't be available for a long time. But we'll see what the season pass looks like when it does drop today. Of course, that's a big part of the Christmas content. Now, of course, the other part of the Christmas content today is more winter wildcards coming into packs. Team 2 today with some pretty solid players. Of course, we've got the Zico card that's coming in. They show an Argentinian striker here on the loading screen. Do we know who that is? Yeah, that's Julian Alvarez, and the French left back is Bon Pastor is the hero. We got the full leaked team. We don't even have to guess. We got Zico and Miyama with 2 versions. Again, we looked at this yesterday, but just again to refresh the memory, this is the only day that it will be possible to pack Team 2 cards and Winter Wild Cards Team 1 on the same day. Tomorrow it'll be Team 2 and the new Team 3 that is coming out. So if there's a card in here and you really like the Team 1 of Winter Wild Cards, today would be your day to be opening packs. And once again, guys, it feels like a promo Friday, because if EA dropped a whole bunch of lightning rounds yesterday, they're probably going to be dropping a whole bunch of lightning rounds today, which would make me want to be very careful wanting to invest in team number 2 of the new cards that come out today. You'd probably not want to trade with those unless you're going to do some quick flips. But team number 1 of Winter Wild Cards, I do think there is some potential. The question is, how low do they go, and do they get their lowest in the late night from Thursday night, Christmas night into Friday, Boxing Day, or are they their lowest right after the content drop? It's going to be tough to gauge, but these cards have already dropped off a ton. Like, again, Leao was 500k yesterday. Now he's 400. Claudia Pina is 270,000 coins, 257k. She was over 300,000 coins yesterday. These cards are dropping big because of the supply that is out there. And people, of course, know that there's a lot of content coming today and tomorrow. So I do think these cards can be investable. I mean, come on, there's 2 Claudia Pinas in this team. There is a Rafa Leao. He's always a meta card. Even some cheaper ones like Loriente, I think, would be a good investment out of this team. Jonathan Tah is going to be a great investment out of this team, hands down as well. He's 30,000 coins, but how much lower do they go today? That is the question. If you're looking to invest in somebody from the squad, definitely keep an eye on it between today at content and late night tonight into Friday morning, maybe even Friday tomorrow after Winter Wildcards 3 comes out. We can have some potential investment opportunities there as well. Of course, I already mentioned this, but as a part of content today, we're watching out for these stocking stuffer packs. Like, I'm so curious, because how can they add a pack in the code called a stocking stuffer and not drop it in the store? It's including players. It doesn't contain, right? If you read the text here on these pack codes, it's one of the things we think we've learned recently in the recent years about packs. If it says contains, it's usually in SBCs or objectives. If it says includes, it's usually in the store. So that's why I think these are store packs, stocking stuffer 1, 2, and 3. I'm mentioning those because they do look like they could be worth spending a few thousand coins on. Like, we're talking 5 to 10k, somewhere in that range. So watch out for those as a part of the content today on Thursday. Now, the big question that we had was, who's the Santa Hat SBC? Who's going to get that dynamic image with the Santa Hat alongside of the Caicedo? Because we know that Chelsea badge there for today's Christmas SBC Daily Double is Caicedo. We got the answer early yesterday. It is Santa Bombito. He's going to be our Christmas Santa hat wearing SBC today. And at first, I was kind of a little underwhelmed. And maybe that's just because we're comparing it to the Zé Roberto that we had last year. Like, that Zé Roberto was unreal. The boost that he got with the Tech Plus, and of course the stat boost that he had, and the price. His SBC was like 300,000 coins, and I think his hero card last year at that point was still like 500 or 600k. This Bombito card does look crazy, but it needs to be really cheap. This could honestly be like the Courtois situation all over again, just except Bombito doesn't play for Real Madrid, maybe isn't well known as one of the best players in his position, but he's kind of a FIFA legend, kind of a card that a lot of people want to Evo, and for goodness sake, he's a 95 pace center back. These are official stats. That is going to be a really good card. Quick stat plus as well. I wonder if he'll have the left back alternate position on his card. This will still be a very good SBC, and I do think I'm kind of worried about center back prices again. They've been mudded the last couple of days. Like, Murillo went from 250 all the way down to 200,000 coins. I do think he could drop even further than that today. But this Bombito, I don't know. Like right away, my first reaction was, man, we were hoping for somebody crazy like that Essien, the Diani, or, maybe even, what was the other leak that we had? So there were some people shouting Jarzinho, because I think today is Jarzinho's birthday, but that wasn't an actual real leak. Still, Bombito could be good, though. Like, I'm not trying to get too frustrated. I know that last year, Zé Roberto was kind of, maybe that was a league of its own type SBC, but this Bombito will still be one that I think a lot of us will complete if the price is right. Now, of course, there's a Caicedo SBC that's dropping today too, and maybe his card will end up being very good value with crazy stats. These are not official stats, by the way. These are predicted, but I do believe that today on Christmas, we'll see the leak stats for his card. Let's see if the leakers are going to work on Christmas. I'd be very curious to see if they're going to be tweeting stuff out today or not. I do know, in saying this, that the Chelsea links for guys like Cole Palmer, guys like Estevao, you can see these are starting to rise up. There's definitely some investors getting involved here, and I'm a little leery. I mean, if there's any SBC of the two today that would be overpriced, in my opinion, it would end up being Caicedo. So if you want to sell on the hype and not have to worry about any of the actual value of the SBC and worry about that, I would sell Palmer and any of those Chelsea links into the hype just to be careful. Other content today on Christmas that we're expecting. Guys, last year and just about every single year on Christmas, we have some sort of challenge SBC. Last year, I think it was called like Christmas challenge or Christmas present or something like that. Some sort of pack SBC that gives us like a decent pack. I think it was like a 50K pack last year. I forget if it was tradable or untradeable, but we should have some sort of challenge SBC for that today. And I'm still holding out a bit of hope for maybe like the 85 plus player pick coming back or something like that. But it's Christmas. You never know exactly what could happen. There could be a surprise here or there in terms of SBCs. There was a couple more leaks yesterday, but it's hard to know if this is going to be related to content today or content during the rest of the weekend for Winter Wildcards. There's going to be a draft token upgrade, which means EA is probably going to drop a draft objective and try to push the draft mode a little bit. I wouldn't mind, actually, because they've buffed draft rewards. They haven't necessarily said when they've done it or how good they've made the rewards, but if they give us a reason to play draft with draft tokens so that we don't have to spend 15,000 coins on it and the rewards are a bit better, or maybe if they're going to say, yo, you can use the new Winter Wildcard items in draft, they're going to be appearing at an increased rate of return, then I would absolutely go ahead and try it. Give us a reason to play it outside of the normal modes that we're grinding for the rewards that we can count on every week, and we could be there for draft. So that's interesting. That's something we'll be watching out for sometime this weekend, or maybe even today. And then, of course, we do have a leaked SBC now for Ashley Cole, left back with Quick Step Plus. We're getting a Quick Step Plus Bombito and a Quick Step Plus Ashley Cole. That card looks very good, actually. 89 pace, 88 defending. We'll have to see what the base playstyles are saying on this card. But that one, along with Essien, those are the last two icon SBCs, and those actually do have a lot of potential, to be completely honest. Now, the other part of today's content that we're still curious about is Evos, man. I've been saying I would really love the Flash Evos, and maybe I'm just hoping too much and expecting too much. I really think we should be getting the rest of the Roll++ Evos, whether that is today or tomorrow. We got to be watching out for those for the other positions that we haven't got them for, right? We've been very, very keenly watching those. But, man, Flash Evos right now would absolutely slap, and EA did drop them last year, so I hope they return. We'll, I guess, come back tomorrow and see what happens with that. But there is a bit of an Evo leak that hasn't been tweeted yet, but, I mean, if you look at the market, it's pretty obvious. 86 Reinders has gone from 9K up to 12,000 coins. So whether this is going to be an Evo that drops today or maybe Friday on the weekend, some sort of midfielder max 86 evolution that must be good enough to invest in this card for should be coming out soon. So that is something to keep an eye on as well as we head into today. I've got to get some packs done here and maybe even AFK a couple games of squad battles before we get into the true Christmas festivities today. But once again, Merry Christmas to you guys. Hopefully EA make it a Merry Christmas on FC26 with the content that we get today as well. And we will reconvene on the video tomorrow and see what we get. And of course, prepare for a wild Boxing Day with more Winter Wildcards coming into packs and maybe one of those bigger player SBCs because it is a promo Friday. If you enjoyed this one, though, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions, of course, and subscribe if you're new. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for all the support as always. I love you guys, and I will see you in a video tomorrow. It's been Nate with TheFutAccountant there. Peace out.